But I do want to reiterate one thing up front. It's this issue of the transgender news that came out the other day. And I want to reiterate what General Dunford, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, had said. And I know there's lots of questions out there. But the military is the military. You operate off of certain processes and sets of orders, et cetera. So to date, walking in here, I have yet to receive implementation guidance, implementation directives from the Department of Defense, General Mattis. And we grow up and learn to obey the chain of command. And my chain of command is Secretary of the Army and the Secretary of Defense, right, and the President. So we will work through the implementation guidance when we get it. And then we'll move from there. And to my knowledge, the Department of Defense, Secretary Mattis, hasn't received written directives yet. So I know there's a lot of churn out there about what was said the other day, but that's where we are right now, and General Dunford's exactly right. We'll act when we receive directives through the proper chain of command channels, and then we'll evaluate what we have and move out from there. In the meantime, he's exactly right. And it should be no surprise to anyone, but the entire force, the entire chain of command will, always has, will today, and will tomorrow, and always should treat every single soldier, sailor, airman, Marine, Coast Guardsman with dignity and respect for their service and the cloth of our nation, bar none. So that's where we stand as of today.
So any applause or reaction you hear, is that necessarily from the work?
I mean, look, I'll be candid. There's a variety of issues. This is a I was telling Josh here, this is a complex issue, and there's a variety of challenges out there that we have to deal with, and when we've been working through it. But this is not clean cut either way. So the short answer to your question is yes. Yeah, we've had to deal with problems. We don't get it in the media. We deal with it professionally, quietly, with dignity and respect for the individual and the institution.
That ended the First World War, and for many years was associated with General of the Armies.
I personally did not, but nor would I have expected to. And I noticed that's been in the media out there. Like I said up front, it's a chain of command thing, and I render my advice through the chain of command, which in my case would be I'd render it up to General Dunford and Secretary Mattis, and they would render it back to me. So no, personally, no. President didn't say, hey, Mark, I'm doing this. No, he didn't do that. But nor would I expect him to do, nor is there any kind of requirement to do that.
Now, I'd like to introduce our head table. Please stand when I call your name.
But I would argue, and this is me now, I would argue that Russia is the Russian leadership is a purely rational actor. They operate off of traditional cost-benefit as they perceive it. And it is my belief that Russian aggression, if you will, or further aggression can be deterred through the proper use of tools, and that Russia does undermine the United States' interests in Europe and elsewhere. But there are also areas of common interest. That's great. I really appreciate you doing that, Mark. And so it's a near-term, very significant threat, and that is the threat of North Korea. I don't want to go into a tremendous amount of detail on it. Much of it is classified, but it is clear, based on what happened over the July 4th weekend, that North Korea has advanced significantly and quicker than many had expected their intercontinental ballistic missile capability that could possibly strike the United States. More to follow, but the time has shortened significantly, and North Korea is a significant threat.